What's going on, guys? Tanner back here bringing you another video, and what I got for you guys today is another reaction video. We're Reaction Wednesdays, but today we got the toughest military trainings in the world. It took me a while to find a video to react to, so if you guys have videos you want me to react to military related wise, please leave them in the comments or send them to me in a link on Twitter and I can look at them. It's really hard for me to find videos to react to that are going to be high enough quality content, like the video quality on them is good. So if you guys can find something, let me know, message it to me, send it to me on Twitter, leave it in the comments, whatever it be. I really appreciate it. But before we get into this video, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed the last couple of days. We gained like 50 subs because of the last video we posted, and I'd also like to thank everyone for showing support on that video. It's over 1,300 views in 2 days, and I've never had a video do that well. So thank you. I very, very much appreciate all of the support on the channel. But without further ado, let's get right into this video.
In no particular order, here are the most brutal military training out there. Number 8, K-Biles, Guatemala.
Okay.
To even be considered for membership in Guatemala's elite K-Biles is a massive honor. Only 128 people enter into the program a year, and the graduating class has never been larger than 10.
So that means 128 people out of their whole country can make it in, and then 10 out of the 128 graduate. Bro, that's insane.
Is a brutal, intense 2 months designed to break down the recruits physically and mentally. It's hard to decide what's worse. On the physical side, they have to crawl naked through thorns and perform field surgery on themselves. One test, referred to as the Inferno, requires them to spend 2 full days neck deep in water without sleeping. Training takes place during both daytime and nighttime. Sleep is permitted for no longer than 3 hours a day if the right to it is earned. The right to eat must also be earned. Before being allowed to eat, soldiers must successfully climb a rope, do 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and run 2 miles in 18 minutes or less wearing full combat gear. Then, duck walk to the mess hall, after which they are given 30 seconds to eat.
So it's not military training, it's military torture, is pretty much what it is. How much torture can you endure for 2 months? And that's why their graduating classes are so low.
The K-Biles are infamous for their reputed practice of forcing recruits to kill animals, which includes raising a puppy and bonding with it before killing and eating it, as well as biting the heads off live chickens. Are you kidding me? In addition, recruits are shot and forced to perform field surgery on...
Okay, that's a snake, not a chicken, so I don't even know why that's in there.
In addition, recruits are shot and forced to perform field surgery on themselves and to drink water out of recently fired artillery shells. As part of the course's finishing ritual, every recruit must drink bomb, a mix of tequila, whiskey, rum, beer, water, and gunpowder served in a bamboo glass with a bayonet tied to it. Soldiers must drink it carefully so as not to get drunk and cut themselves with the bayonet. Once they successfully complete this ritual, they are inducted into the K-Biles. How are these dudes not insane at the end? Number 7.
Bro, what? Like, that's not training, you're torturing people. That's insane.
Spetsnaz, Russia.
The fact that there's shit that's crazier than that is shocking to me.
Whereas most special operations forces train to make you a more competent warrior and hone your skills, the Spetsnaz embrace the fact that war is full of pain and misery, so they train their guys accordingly. Training involves a unique martial art. Being a Spetsnaz martial art, it obviously teaches the soldiers how to disarm and kill as quickly as possible, as well as how to fire 2 guns at once. After soldiers are fully trained in the art of ass-kicking...
Wait, was that a video game? I'm pretty sure that's a screenshot from a video game, bro.
Fire 2 guns at once. After soldiers are fully trained in the art of ass-kicking, a popular training exercise is to allow Russian recruits to beat the living shit out of each other to test their skills. But obviously, recruits can only test their own skills so much. To really test the limits of what a soldier can do, you need the experienced guiding hand of a superior officer. Listen to this one. Supposedly, young soldiers are woken up in the middle of the night, dragged through the dark, and thrown into a room. The room is dark, cramped, and filled with blood and rotten organs. Yes, chunks of rotten flesh and piles of bleeding entrails. The blood and organs come from a nearby slaughterhouse, which makes absolutely no difference to the soldiers who were still asleep just moments ago. Blood is a part of war, and if the soldiers can literally wade through it, it's not going to bother them in a battle situation, which just may give them that split-second advantage to catch their opponent by surprise. The Spetsnaz also undergo various disturbing pain management drills, such as standing in a line and getting punched and kicked by their instructor. The point of this is to make it so they can ignore injuries in combat and strike back hard. Number 6, Marine Corps, Taiwan. Every step...
Oh, so it's the Marines from Taiwan. So that one's not as intense as the other one. I think he did say they're not in any specific order, but that first one was definitely number 1.
Of the path Taiwanese men need to take in order to become Marines is incredibly difficult, but none are quite like the path called, quote, Road to Heaven.
I've heard about this.
Conducted during the 10th and final week of their training at Kaohsiung Military Base, the road is a grueling crawl along a pathway of jagged stones and coral. The men aren't allowed to wear anything but shorts as they tackle the belly-down crawl, and instructors stop them and force them to do calisthenics at various points along the brutal crawl. By the end, their bodies are bloody, tattered messes, but if the recruits don't perform to the Marine standard, they're forced to do the whole thing over again. The road to heaven starts with a hard fall from standing to a planking position. The fall looks to be tough on the elbows, but immediately after, the recruits begin to crawl through the sharp rocks on the points of their knees and elbows. In some ways, the training simulates a landing on a rocky beach, but it appears to function mainly as a test in which the trainees must will themselves to conquer pain. The path has 10 stopping points, and at each one, the recruits must stop and perform an exercise. If an instructor isn't satisfied with a recruit's form, or perhaps their level of misery, they're ordered to start again.
Oh, God.
As they make their way...
being on, like, number 8 or 9, and they're like, nope, back to beginning.
Instructors pour salt water over the open wounds of the soldiers in training. What? Friends and family are encouraged to attend this final training event and can be seen on the sidelines tearing up as they watch this bloody ordeal. Number 5, Commando Hubert, France. The French don't exactly have the world's most fearsome reputation when it comes to their military.
Guys, if you don't understand that reference, just Google it, please. Just Google
But
it.
to become a frogman in the elite Commando Hubert division requires training that would easily destroy most ordinary men. No more than a dozen of the military's best divers are allowed into the program, which lasts a total of 27 very intense weeks.
Jesus.
The meat of the training comes in the second phase, in which the recruits are required to plan and execute simulated raids on ships by swimming under the cover of darkness and boarding and planting fake explosives without being caught. By the end of it, recruits are expected to be as comfortable in the water as they are on land.
That's crazy.
One mistake at any point can lead to an instant expulsion from the program. Considering the complexity of most of the tasks this unit is responsible for and the extreme, mostly wet conditions wherein they need to complete them, perfection of execution is a pretty tall order.
It just sounds like they're like a more like a Navy SEAL type thing. Kind of.
Number 4, Storm Corps, North Korea.
Oh.
Of course, North Korea would push their soldiers to the limits of human endurance. What else is there to do there? What the Hermit Kingdom lacks in technological advancement, they make up in sheer insanity. If high school graduates enter the Storm Corps, they have to do 13 years of military service.
Bro.
3
What? 13 years? Think about that, guys. We're 4 to 6. 4 minimum, 6 max on your first contract. 13 years you're mandated to be in. Hell no.
3-year military service of loyalty extension after the standard 10-year term. Storm Corps soldiers wake up at 5 in the morning, walk out to a tree wrapped with heavy ropes, and punch it 5,000 times. They then punch ragged tin cans and piles of salt to turn their fists into clubbing wads of scar tissue. The most difficult thing for a new recruit is extra training after these scheduled daily tasks. After the evening checkup, squad leaders take cadets out and make them exercise for an hour, including sparring, kicking, bouncing, and pull-ups, and then makes them run up a 200-meter mountainside with a mattress on their back. The North Korean army wants every Storm Corpsman to be able to defeat 10 armed men single-handed. Kim Il-sung himself was quoted as saying the Special Operations Force is the strongest elite force of the entire Korean People's Army and is the unique vanguard force of the armed forces of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Nothing screams like I'm a tough man like running up a mountain with a mattress on your back. They're not going to be able... I don't care what kind of training you have. I don't care. Unless you have a gun, if 10 dudes are jumping you at the same... They come in at one time, you're not winning that fight. You're not. Unless you're like a UFC fighter and you're trained to legit fight and they come at you one at a time, then you're good. But if 10 dudes sprint at you at once, you might be able to take out 2 or 3, but 10 of them are taking you down.
Number 3, Shaytet 13, Israel. Israel takes their military very seriously, with every non-Arab citizen required to serve for at least 2 years. There are many levels of service, though, with some of the most devout...
Damn! Look at the silencer on this. Holy hell!
Conscripts heading straight for Shaytet 13, the Navy unit that serves as one of the military's primary special ops forces. The training regimen to join takes a total of 20 months, accepting only the most elite recruits. The survivors are molded into terrifyingly efficient soldiers with extensive hand-to-hand training in the martial art of Krav Maga. During the, quote, dedicated phase, the most rigorous phase of training, which lasts about a year, most of the dropouts leave during this phase. This phase includes training in advanced diving techniques with closed-circuit systems, underwater demolition, sea-to-land incursions via diving, ships, submarines, and parachuting into the sea. The unit snipers also undergo 6 weeks of sniper training, divided into 3 weeks of long-range sniper training at the Israel Defense Forces Sniper School, and 3 weeks of short-range sniper training for hostage situations. Cadets then train in maritime counter-terrorism operations such as boarding of vessels, oil rigs, and near-coast buildings. Those that graduate are known as the Silent Men for their incredible stealth, and much of their training involves being put in dangerous and scary situations where making any kind of sound would disqualify you from the program.
That one sounds
Number 2,
crazy, just from all the
Special Warfare Command, South Korea. With a constant threat from their volatile northern neighbor, South Korea's Army Special Warfare Command is responsible for special operations in the country.
Nothing screams like I'm going to be the best soldier of all time, like doing a bridge in the snow without a shirt on.
SWC soldiers frequently work closely with U.S. Green Berets, and their operations include guerrilla warfare, assassinations, and counterterrorism. Every year, members of the SWC must participate in winter warfare training in the mountains of Pyeongchang, east of Seoul.
I heard Marines.
Conditions in Pyeongchang generally include temperatures as low as negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, as well as deep snow. During the training exercises, SWC soldiers need to complete various exercise regimes in the cold, including shirtless long-distance runs. The idea behind all this is to acclimate soldiers to any intense conditions they may find themselves in during a real war situation. Seemingly bizarre, the training instills a sense of mental and physical toughness within the SWC ranks. Aside from being acclimated to adverse physical conditions, all members of the SWC must achieve a black belt in Taekwondo and advanced marksman skills. Number 1, Navy SEALs, United States.
Okay.
The training regimen...
I was wondering if they were going to throw a United States one in here, and they went correctly with SEALs, so...
of the U.S. Navy SEALs is legendary all around the world and within the world of Special Operations Forces. Most notable is the time that's called Hell Week, a week-long smorgasbord of pain and suffering. Training activities range from carrying heavy wooden logs up near vertical sand dunes to the infamous trial that's surf torture, in which soldiers lock arms and wade into freezing cold ocean water. They stay in the water for 15 minutes at a time, take a 5-minute break to be checked for signs of hypothermia, and then are ordered back in over and over again. All of this happens while having only a total of 4 hours sleep. And that's not 4 hours per day either. That's over the course of the entire week.
Damn.
Holy sh**. There usually isn't a formal announcement when Hell Week actually starts, with the only announcement being the sudden, massive series of artillery explosions and gunfire, and the screams of the instructors telling everyone to get their asses outside. That's because in preparation for what has to be the world's worst surprise party, the entire base is tricked out to simulate a real-life combat zone.
That's
The
sick.
central courtyard where the trainees are made to exercise is lined with barrels filled with artillery simulators, which, as the name would suggest, are blanks that replicate artillery strikes all the way from the whistling of the incoming shell to the very massive and very real explosion that soon follows. The trainees will continue
pretty
to
dope.
do their drills among the random explosions while instructors walk among them, screaming and firing off hundreds of blanks from machine guns. They also have an industrial-strength fog machine that fills the place with a misty haze in between the already dizzying pyrotechnics. Needless to say, the fighting forces of the great United States are respected around the world, and to ascend to the elite ranks, you need to put yourself through some serious pain. The path to becoming a Navy SEAL has to go through Hell Week, one of the most insane collections of training pain we've ever heard of. And yeah, unsurprisingly, 75% of the prospects drop out before the entire program is over. Here.
All right, so the first one that came up, definitely, what was that thing called? Do they have a list of them? The K-Boss from Guatemala, that just sounds stupid. But obviously, you know, SEAL training is going to be the toughest. That's the most elite fighting force there is on the planet. So that's definitely going to be the toughest, followed by number 8. Number 8 just sounded, it just sounded pointless. Like, the shit they were doing was ridiculous. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please smash the like button. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. Every Wednesday we do a reaction video. So if there's a military-related video you want me to react to, message it to me on Twitter or leave it in the comment section below, and I'll keep a tab on it for next week's video. But yeah, if you are new, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell to know when we post a video. And remember, guys, at 3,000 subscribers, we are doing that massive giveaway, and I'm shaving off the mustache live on stream. So I hope to see you guys then. But I hope that y'all have a great day. Peace out. I love you all. Stay safe. And peace out.